On the news tonight, federal government borrows 24 trillion naira to support budget deficit. Correspondent beams searchlight on forms of cancer common with men. Impact of the recent weather on livestock in focus. Plus, updates from the world of entertainment and sports. Good evening. This is the Nigerian Television Authority NTA ILORIN News Tonight. I am Abdul Wahid Bibire. The federal government has borrowed 6.31 trillion naira from the Central Bank of Nigeria through ways and means advances in 10 months. This has pushed the federal government's borrowing from the CBN from 17.46 trillion in October 2022. The 23.77 trillion owned the Apex Bank by the federal government is not part of the country's total public debt stock, which stood at 42.834 trillion as of June 2022, according to the Debt Management Office. The public debt stock only includes the debt of the federal government of Nigeria, the 36 state governments, and the Federal Capital Territory. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria, the CBN, the federal government's borrowing from it through the ways and means advances is to paddle a budget deficit, but needs to be properly monitored in order not to incur adverse effects on the bank's monetary policy and domestic prices as well as exchange rates in the nearest future. The federal government paid an interest of 2.03 trillion naira from January 2022 to November 2021 on the loans it got from the CBN through the ways and means advances. In the meantime, the Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has ordered the immediate suspension of the chairman of Osun State Independent National Electoral Commission, Mr. Segun Oladitan. In a statement signed by the Secretary to the State Government, Teslim Igbalaye, the Executive Governor of Osun State, Senator Adeleke, has directed the immediate suspension of the chairman of OCEC, Segun Oladitan, and 6 members of the Commission. Their suspension was said to have been based on several petitions bordering on financial impropriety, dereliction on financial impropriety, dereliction of duty, absenteeism, and abuse of office against the chairman and members of the Commission, pending the outcome of investigation into the allegations against the suspended chairman and members of the Commission. The Secretary to the Commission shall hold forth in running the affairs of the Commission. The Action Alliance Party, AHA, in Kwara State has promised to re-energize the economy and attract investment to the state if voted into power during the 2023 general elections. The deputy governorship candidate of the party, Princess Victoria Yemisi Bandiko, disclosed these during an exclusive interview with Abdulafiz Alaya on the manifesto of the party.
Action Alliance, according to Mrs. Victoria Bandipo, sees the increasing crime rate in Kwara as a byproduct of poor economy and plans to stem the tide through employment generation. The party is already empowering the youth and will consolidate this if given the mandate in 2023.
Like presently, my party is giving out POS, 20,000 POS for Kwaras who are ready to work. So all this crime or whatever is because they lack job. Let there be job.
While Action Alliance is committed to tapping into agricultural endowments of the state to boost the economy, Victoria Bandipo says women and youth will not be left out in the policies and programs of the Action Alliance-led government.
How do we balance our education? Go to the same school, in the same class, from primary to the level you wanted. So when it is time for us to decide, women will know what is right for women. Men will know what is right for men. Women will know what is right for the children. And joining the two together, we are going to balance the show.
The deputy governorship candidate urged people of the state to join the party in its quest to transform Kwara State into an enviable height come 2023. Abdulafiz Alaya, NTA News.
Prostate cancer, according to research, is the most common form of cancer among African men. It comes with difficulty in urination, decreased force in urine stream, erectile dysfunction, and blood in semen, among other symptoms. Aisha Abubakar in this report finds out causes, treatment and prevention of prostate, as well as other forms of cancer affecting men.
There are over 100 types of cancer that pose threats to human lives globally, out of which medical experts identified 5 types of cancer that mostly affect men all over the world. These include liver, lung, colorectal, bladder, and prostate cancer. Cancer is estimated to be responsible for more than 72,000 deaths annually in Nigeria, with prostate and liver cancer being the most reported cases in men.
In every 6 men, there's a risk that 1 will develop prostate cancer in old age. Okay, and so invariably what we are saying is that for more than 10% of men will develop prostate cancer in their lifetime.
But how much do Nigerian men know about prostate cancer?
Prostate cancer has to do with urinary tract issues, especially in the lower abdomen. Every man in his at least above 40s should at least be concerned about.
The worrisome aspect in recent times is how Nigeria is losing many old and middle-aged men to prostate cancer-related ailments, with several risk factors identified to be responsible in the increase of prostate cancer. There is need for more sensitization on early detection as well as prevention of prostate cancer.
It may be an inherited problem from the parents. There are also some environmental factors that have been responsible, especially if people will talk about cigarette smoking, alcohol intake, the type of food you eat. So food, especially people who are more into taking red meat and dairy products.
Constant medical checkup, according to medical experts, remains the best alternative to prevent prostate cancer among men. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya, NTA News.
Impact of cold, dry weather on livestock is our next report after this time out.
Sports Zone. This is your sports rendezvous, happening in the world of sports. You deserve to know. You want it analyzed? Sports Zone on NTA ILORIN, both local and international. You get the breaking news and the history, analyzing with brilliant sports exponents, live every Wednesday, 9 to 9:30 in the morning. That's the time for your wonderful moment in sport infotainment. Sports Zone. Join us. Let's set the agenda.
Welcome back. It is no longer news that the change in weather, especially during the Harmattan season, resulting to dust and cold weather, has healthy implications on human beings. In this report, Mohammed Azam finds out the impact of cold, dry weather on livestock.
The end up to the first quarter of every year are always accompanied by cold and dusty weather as a result of consistent cold, dry wind of the Harmattan. As such, livestock farmers gear up to make sure that their animals and birds get urgent medical attention to live healthy during this period. Abdulwahid Bibire is a civil servant and livestock farmer. He told NTA News what makes animals susceptible to cold and how to manage them during this period.
We try as much as possible to include in their dietary antibiotics to prevent them from cold and other infectious diseases that is common during Harmattan.
Abubakar Usman, an entrepreneur and a poultry farmer, shares his experience on how current weather condition is taking toll on his birds.
Like chicken now, during this season, they are used to a disease called CRD. That's critical respiratory disease. Yeah, when this happens, we buy drugs.
During this Harmattan season, the chicken, and most of them used to die due to the dust and the cold.
A veterinary doctor with the Kwara State Veterinary Clinic, Dr. Bukola Richards, explains some preventive measures which farmers should follow during this season.
The animal is supposed to eat more to be able to produce better. That's the ideal thing because there's cold stress, so they tend to eat more at this period so they're able to get better. So what we see now is that the production is not as expected. It's not coming forth as expected, maybe because of the economic situation. And then for the dust that you have around, this is a season where you have a lot of respiratory tract infections because a lot of pathogens are being blown by the wind, like that. So we have more of CRD cases now. We have the NCD, that's the Newcastle disease all around now. So it's a season where we advise farmers that they should step up their biosecurity processes, that is, stepping up the hygienic processes on the farms.
Experts say farmers should feed the animals extra and give more water to them for more energy to stay warm. Mohammed Azan, NTA News.
And our entertainment news. Nigerian music superstar Ayo Balogun, popularly known as Wizkid, is set to perform a historic show in London come 2023. Kautar Raji has details of these and more from the world of entertainment.
Nigerian megastar Wizkid has set 1st of June 2023 as the date for his London Stadium performance, which is part of his More Love, Less Ego tour. The performance will see the megastar become the first African to perform at the 80,000 capacity ground, which currently serves as the home of Premier League side West Ham United. Burna Boy has added another plaque to his cabinet as Georgia Smith, Be Honest, received a diamond certification in France. The music chart data revealed that Be Honest is eligible for diamond certification in France after selling over 250,000 units. The single was released in August 2019 and it was Georgia Smith's second collaboration with Burna Boy following Gun Body in his African Giant album. In other development, Rema's Calm Down has recorded another milestone after it earned a gold certification for selling 25,000 copies in Italy. Before being certified gold in Italy, Calm Down received gold certifications in Spain, Portugal, Netherlands, a silver certification in the UK, and a diamond certification in France. Kautar Raji, NTA News.
Now sports. Athletes from different parts of the country have started arriving to Asaba, the Delta State capital, this morning ahead of the Wednesday opening ceremony of the 21st National Sports Festival. Mohammed Hassan has more on sports tidbit.
Delta won the bid to host the Fiesta, which is Nigeria's version of the Olympics Games, at the end of the last edition in Benin City, Edo State last year. Since then, Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa had put several structures in place to actualize his dream of delivering the best ever games in the history of Nigerian sports. Among the facilities built for the games are 2 new indoor sports halls, a swimming pool, tartan track, and shooting range, all within the Stephen Keshi Stadium, Asaba, as well as new hockey pitch at Okpanam. The Confederation of African Football has fixed December 12 for the group stage draws of the Champions League and the Confederation Cup. Group stage draws for both inter-club competition were initially stated for November 16, but CAF announced a postponement via its website a day before the event. With the development, it means Nigerian Professional Football League side, Rivers United, will find out its group opponent in the Confederation Cup December 12. Cameroon fought back from 2 goals down to end a 3-3 draw against Serbia at the World Cup today, keeping both teams in contention for a place in the last 16. Cameroon and Zambia both picked up their first point in Group G ahead of the later game between Brazil and Switzerland. Mohammed Azan, NTA News.
The weather forecast for tomorrow, Tuesday, 29th of November 2022, wraps it up on NTA ILORIN News Tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night.